G'day, it's Valiant GLX coming at you once again through the power of the internet, and once again I'm talking about my Ultra Micro Mosquito. So if you remember in my previous vids, I've showed you all the upgrades, then I've showed you how to program the AS3X, and we got all that working correctly. And just one other thing I want to point out, so I'm not too concerned about my CG being affected by the flap servo back here. The reason why, the original Micro Mosquito board that I placed up here to power the motors kind of offsets the weight, and at the moment, or prior to installing the flaps, I was running a little bit nose heavy, so hopefully this fixes the issue. Alright. So, to stick it back together, we basically got to put the belly back on, which is a little bit tricky on my model. So I have this nano connector there for the belly light here. It's a real friggin' pain in the ass to plug in. I'll employ the help of some needle nose pliers. It's really fiddly work, and you can't frig around with these wires too much. Oh god, here we go. Now, fingers crossed that's going in the right direction. I'll just power it up, see if the light works. And there we go. Just look here. Don't really trust that servo, it's moving around quite a bit. I'll just glue that in a little bit better. Alright, I've got that servo of mine remounted. This time I've put him on a couple of little blocks of foam. As you can see. Which I think is much better because it will also allow for a bit of cooling. And if you can also see along the trailing edge here, put in a little piece of piano wire just to reinforce it, because when I was moving the servo before, the foam was bending here in the middle. Only a little bit, but after time it might have caused a problem. But if you see now, still a little bit of movement. But it's not too bad. I think it's mainly just because it's on the squishy foam blocks. That's why there's still a bit. Alright, so where were we? So stick this belly back on. That's a little bit too high, isn't it? Let's go down a bit lower. Alright, so we've got that fiddly little cable again, the nano connector. Nice, first shot. Something stopping it. Like the battery. too bad. Alright, for this I usually use just a bit of plain old sticky tape. I like to cut the crinkly little bits off the end, so when you try to pull it off later it won't tear there. One crinkly bit gone. I'll cut that piece in two. It can be a bit tricky, especially in front of the camera. That's one bit down. Get the other side. You want to make sure you get a nice tight bond, tight as possible. There we go, all taped up. So yeah, taped along there, along the bottom, the opposite side, and on the front sections. It was pretty strong. As strong as it was before anyway. Alright, looking good guys. See you next time.